before you get started on the tracking and setting up the tag manager, it is very important to develop a tracking plan. So let's say, for an example, Zen Academy provides courses and sort of training to people, including providing that services to employers. So what are the sort of things that I would benefit from tracking? So for an example, if somebody clicked this browse course or courses, I mean, they essentially lead to this page, which in terms of the dollar value doesn't mean anything to my business. Similarly, if somebody clicks my LinkedIn profile or they clicked on the contact page, doesn't really mean that it leads to revenue. However, if you go to the courses page, go to enroll now, and then click on the start the courses, the start the courses page essentially leads to not this dashboard page, but if you're not logged in, then it'll lead to a sign up form. So, that's maybe one of the buttons I could track. If you go to the contact page and if somebody fills out this form and clicks submit, then that form will come through to me, which could potentially lead to business or dollar value. Then again, that could be a conversion event. So, form fills or course enrollments are some examples of what would constitute to be important in terms of tracking. Now, if you're running an e-commerce store, you would probably like to track if somebody added an item to cart or somebody searched something at the top of the page, and so on and so forth. So there's this analytics company called Segment, and we'll dive into this in some of the other courses, which provides some level of sort of a plan in their docs as to what you could ideally be tracking. So if you're a B2B SaaS, you probably want to track account created, account deleted, if they've signed up, if they've signed in, if they've signed out, if they've sent an invitation, account added user, removed user, trial started, trial ended, and so on and so forth. If you are an e-commerce, you want to track if somebody searched a product, if they viewed product list, if there's a promotion that was viewed, if they clicked on a product, if they added items, if they added items to cart, if they started checkout, they viewed the cart, if the order was complete, if they entered a coupon, if they entered a coupon and it was denied, and plenty of other things that you could sort of track in terms of the tracking plan. Now, the reason we track these things is because we believe that these things will eventually lead to revenue. As you would notice in these plans, that they're not really essentially tracking if somebody sort of followed you on LinkedIn, or they sort of followed you on Twitter, or if somebody clicked a link on Twitter, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you first create a tracking plan as to what would you like your customers to do. This is basically defining your funnel, which you can also try and understand from one of the other courses, which is the landing pages that convert. But just from a perspective of a service business, anything that leads to revenue, so that may be student enrollment, could be contact form, if an employer fills out a form, or somebody makes a call to my business, those sort of things would essentially lead to revenue, which is exactly what we will try and track